supposed to score 40 or 43, whatever the case may be. I'm capable of it. I can do it.
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious,
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you all having a good day so far. So I wanted to react to this video. This is from Uncut, and I think he's about to go off on everything I've been wanting to say since I watched this this pathetic series. This video is titled "Jimmy Butler is a complete fraud." All right, I know that's going to trigger some people, but it is what it is. Now, I went in when Golden State picked him up and they traded for him. I was one of the first ones to say, like, this is a terrible idea. It's not going to work. And it wasn't because, like, it doesn't work on paper. It was just because, like, I know Jimmy. I've been watching. I was, okay, a couple of years ago, I was watching Jimmy in the playoffs and trying to convince my brother and my dad that I was like, this guy might be clutch like MJ. I'm not sure. We got to see. And so to go from that to where I am now, I've been paying attention. And I'm really disappointed, actually. Last couple of times I've seen him in the playoffs leading up to this year, he becomes extremely passive. The more pressure is on, the less he shoots. And, it's a pattern I notice. It's the James Harden pattern. Okay, it's the same thing James Harden does. It's just not nearly as bad, but it's the same idea. He becomes passive and he just starts dishing the ball off. LeBron James does this too. So it's not a good sign of how someone deals with pressure. Everyone talks about playoff Jimmy. Sorry guys, I don't think it's for real. I mean, it's like early playoff Jimmy maybe, but when it comes to like, crunch time, Jimmy, I'm not buying it. So what happened? He did the exact same thing he usually does. He had to step up and be the guy. He was supposed to, at least, because Steph was out. Even the media was all over him. Like, when's that point when you take over? And he was like, if I have to do it, I could do it anytime. Well, guess what? He never did it. And especially in that last game, the last two games, really, I was disappointed. But that game 5, I was so disappointed in him. So what happened? I started changing my tune because I started seeing the success. Plus, I started reading a lot of comments, and a lot of your guys' comments were defending Jimmy. So I started thinking maybe I'm the one who's off here, but I don't think so. Anyways, let's watch this video because it's just going to confirm everything that I thought about Jimmy. Link down below for you guys if you guys want to check out the original video from Uncut. Uncut, if you're watching, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing good. Like the vid if you haven't done it. Let's go. And let's go.
But what I'm going to say about Jimmy is, as great as Jimmy is, the playoff Jimmy thing has put Jimmy Butler in a conversation with guys that maybe are a little bit above Jimmy Butler.
Oh, damn.
No, you don't
That came from Haslam, the old teammate.
pay much attention to what's out there, but just so you can know, everybody's expecting this massive thing, this reputation of playoff Jimmy.
If that time comes where, you're...
Sorry, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Those last two games, 11 shots from your main guy, 9 shots from your main guy. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. We need more like this, Go out guns blazing. You got to try.
People that are saying whatever, supposed to score 40 or 43, whatever the case may be. I'm capable of it. I can do it.
Yeah. Well.
We're waiting.
Jimmy Butler gets the boos every time he touches the ball.
He's had trouble finishing.
Butler left open, misses a 3. Neil Pajemski, Butler Green, and Jackson Davis.
I mean, okay, we're showing bricks here, but I'd at least rather see him shoot. What pisses me off is when he goes up for it. He's got a wide open shot, and I'm talking like sometimes he's like 3 feet from the basket. Wide open, he goes up with 2 hands, and then he passes it. He ends up doing a jump pass. I've been noticing these jump passes for years from him. I don't know what it is. He's right there. All he's got to do is release the shot, but then he cranks it back and then he makes a pass. I don't understand it at all.
Supposed to score 40 or 43, whatever the case may be. I'm capable of it. I can do it.
For him to say that,
Is he trolling?
I thought, is that Jimmy trolling, or is that Jimmy serious?
When it comes to the NBA playoffs, this is what fans, players, coaches look forward to all season long. As in the postseason, it's where legacies are made, careers are cemented, and as fans really get to see which players are built for the moments and which guys aren't.
Exactly.
George, way off.
Yeah, I don't care how well this team looked in the regular season. I don't. It doesn't matter. Once the playoffs came around, we saw what's what. Same thing with James Harden's. Same thing with the Clips. Same thing.
It's the side of the backboard. Harden, one-on-one with Brogdon, pulls up, jumper.
Yep,
short.
James Harden, you're on the list too.
Embiid's gonna have to put it up for the tie. Oh, he missed it.
Embiid, you stink.
Now, looking at the flip side, if you are a playoff guy, a playoff riser, one good finals run, one all-time great series can make you a made man to the majority of NBA fans. And looking at someone like Jimmy Butler, that's kind of been the case. As of course in 2020 as well as 2023, had iconic finals runs with big-time performances in crucial spots.
Butler one-on-one with Markieff Morris. Butler drives, falling away, got it again!
See, there it is. Attack first Jimmy was great.
Over the top to Butler, up and in! This is what he wants. Inside for the lead. That's what he wants. Grant Williams on him. He was special.
Butler having those big-time games, big performances, and of course big shots is why he got the nickname of Playoff Jimmy. Now, of course, that version of Butler was spectacular, a great player, a top 10 playoff guy. The version of Butler we have now is not even close to that.
I know.
As Butler for the past 2 years,
It's like he's dead inside.
He tends to coast the entire season, fade in big games, and become very, very passive in crucial moments.
Yep, nailed it.
Draymond just 2 points. Good pass underneath. Butler missed the layup. He's missed a few of those right at the rim.
Yeah, he did.
Behind the back, timer at 5. Butler driving, spinning, stopping, falling away.
I mean, I still prefer him taking these shots.
Butler driving on him and throws it over the head of Draymond Green out of bounds earlier. Butler around the screen, drives, goes at Gobert, missed another layup. Not good enough, damn it, not good enough.
See, like, okay, yeah, I'll repeat it one last time. For me, I'd rather him just take the shots. It's fine. If you're gonna miss the shots, fine. I just don't want to see any more jump passes. Like, no more freaking jump passes. Take the shot or make the pass. And if you got a clear shot, you better freaking sling it, man.
Butler in this year's postseason for the Warriors was anything but Playoff Jimmy. And the one guy who saw this coming was indeed Pat Riley.
Yep.
As a refresh your guys' memory, Riley, before the season started, refused to give Butler an extension that he desperately wanted. And of course, Butler the entire year, pouting, whining, sitting out games, and quite frankly, tanking his team and tanking his stock.
Yep.
What
Yeah,
Butler did in South Beach to get out of there was downright disgraceful.
So basically, like, I already had this view on Jimmy when all this went down with the Heat, that I was like, he's been a problem everywhere he's gone. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt in Miami until he started this drama, you know? I defended him up until that point. And then I'm like, you know what? He's the common denominator here. For some reason, he always starts out really great with whatever team he's on. Within a couple of years, he ends up just causing chaos. It's like a Tasmanian devil situation. So we had this, and then you combine this with the passive style of play that he's acquired now. Yeah, there's nothing there for me. There's nothing there that I can truly praise. Except I could just say, hell of a gifted basketball player. I wish we'd get to see it more, because he's capable of a lot more than what he's doing. You know, it's something psychological's going on with him.
And Pat Riley not playing ball with him, not caving in, that's what makes Pat Riley a great GM and a great basketball mind.
Agreed.
As looking through NBA history, when it comes to aging superstar players, franchise cornerstones, one thing you don't do is pay them based off past success. What you pay them for is how good they are right now and how good they'll be in the future.
Absolutely.
Butler being in his mid-late 30s, what you don't do is pay that guy a max contract and tie yourself down for the next 2.5 years on a terrible deal.
I know, yet we got high-paid players like Jimmy, Paul George, James Harden, LeBron James. It is pretty wild. It seems like we're getting a lot of legacy contracts, and by legacy contracts I mean like, here you go, here's a lot of money because he used to be great.
Now, the team who took that swing, made that choice, was the Golden State Warriors. And why Golden State did that was really out of sheer desperation to get Steph somebody, anybody, who get a bucket on their own.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the second round, Game 1, Minnesota versus Golden State, of course, Steph in the first half goes down, hamstring injury. He's done for the entire series.
Oh no!
We suck again.
At that point, for Warriors fans, the Warriors coaching staff, what you need from Butler is 25-30 points every single game to even be competitive. And unfortunately for Warriors fans, that version of Jimmy no longer exists.
Yeah, that's the wild thing, because he knows the game. So you take out your lead scorer. Now the number 2 needs to step up to be the number 1 scorer, and he was the number 2 scorer, and he was doing a great job at it. But when your lead scorer Steph goes down with an injury, you now have to elevate to be the number 1, and someone else has to pick up the slack and take your role and be the number 2.
As in this series, you found that out very, very quickly. As besides Game 3 where he had 33 points, Butler the entire series was basically a glorified role player with playoff prestige.
Yeah.
And even looking at Game 3, the way Butler closed this game cost Golden State in the biggest ways. Jimmy in the fourth quarter was an abysmal
1 for 7.
1 of 7 shooting. In the final 8 minutes, he went scoreless.
Damn.
Want to be a little more specific?
There's good and there's not good. This is not good.
Yeah.
Butler at this point in his career is a very solid number 2 option with tendencies of a number 3 option. And him being asked to score 30 points every single game, heck, even 20, 25 points every single game, that's not happening with Jimmy Butler at age 36.
Yeah.
And one thing I do want to touch on is Jimmy's overall mentality. Back in 2020, 2023, Butler versus the Lakers, the Bucks, especially the Celtics, he was hyper-aggressive attacking, just a killer and alpha on the court you could trust in the biggest moments. This guy the past 2 years, especially versus Minnesota, was kind of the, I'm too cool version of Jimmy. I'm not going to take over, score 40, even if my team needs it.
And I was so confused. Yeah, here we go.
And I'm playing the same way. My guys is open, I'm passing. I don't care what nobody says. And I'm going to live and die with us as a unit, us as a whole. I don't have a burden or expectation. I don't. I play basketball the right way. I will continue to play basketball the right way.
3 days
Yeah,
later.
you needed to score 30, man. 25 to 30, like Uncut says. That's what your team needed. There's no getting around it. Points weren't just gonna. Steph Curry's points weren't just gonna all of a sudden just trickle down to everybody else. He's a scoring god.
Later.
And the Timberwolves are going to advance to their second consecutive conference finals.
Butler having that mentality of this series, it ultimately cost them. What they needed was playoff Jimmy. What they got was role player Jimmy. As looking at games 4 and game 5, I'm not going to say he quit, it's a little bit too harsh, but both of those 2 games combined only took 20 shots.
It's outrageous, egregious, preposterous.
Now look, let's make one thing very clear. Butler in Golden State for the majority of his time so far has been a success, as being paired with Steph Curry, what Steph needed was just someone else. So look, I'll give Butler some credit. He stepped up for the regular season, was a pretty solid number 2, but in this year's postseason, just dropped the ball big time. As looking at the final 9 quarters of this series, Butler in total, 36 points, 10-27 shooting, 1 of 6 from deep, with a minus 58. I'm not saying Golden State should have won this series. Nobody expected that.
Yeah.
But if you're Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, what we expect is more than that.
Well, I mean, I was personally a little invested in this series because I've been rooting for Steph Curry to get his 5th championship. So I watched this entire series. I don't think I missed a game. And what the deal is Jimmy just had to win one game. That's what pissed me off. He had to will himself to win one game, rally the team together, because they're a good team. Rally everyone together, win one game to give Steph enough room to make a comeback, because he was going to come back from his injury. But Jimmy just had the Golden State Warriors just had to win one game. So that's what I'm really disappointed in. It's not that I expected, if there was a 7-game series with no Steph, yeah, I'm not expecting the Warriors to win. But I expect you guys to win one, knowing that Steph Curry is about to come back. You know, but all we got to do is win one game, buy him those 2 days, and he's coming back. That's why I'm annoyed with what I saw. And like I said, if Jimmy would have shot 25 times and, you know, it just didn't go in, I could accept that. I could accept that and go, hey, man, he tried. He gave it his best. But when he's just barely shooting the ball and he's playing super passive, that's not good enough.
I'm not mad.
Disappointed.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
If you want to talk overall impact of one player on a roster, Steph Curry for the Warriors, it rivals Nikola Jokic. Take Steph out of this team, they can't even function. Take Jokic off Denver, really the exact same thing. And in regards to playoff Jimmy, I mean, why you give Butler a pass for certain things, certain antics, is because he's playoff Jimmy. And even looking at 4 years ago, 2022 missed 25 games.
Damn.
The following year, 18. Last year, 22. And this year, 27.
That doesn't look accidental. That looks like it's planned.
Jimmy at this point as a player, health-wise, is rapidly declining. And if he's no longer playoff Jimmy, I mean, what is he really?
Yeah.
No idea.
I don't think these playoff titles are doing any good for any of these players. We got playoff Jimmy, which it's turning into, like, you know, a choke job situation. We got playoff P or pandemic P, whatever you prefer. We've seen how that's going. That's not going so great. We got LeBron and his playoff mode activated. That's not going so great. You know, you can't get past the first round. So I don't know what this playoff mode crap is. I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like these playoff titles are working for anybody.
Worst part about Butler aging, he still has the ego and mentality of a number one option who should get paid like that. But his game reliability, his outside shooting, is that of a third option on a really good team. At this point in Jimmy's career, the thought of Jimmy is better than he actually is in reality. And looking at that contract, I mean, it's going to age pretty poorly. This year, Jimmy, the 11th highest salary in the league. Next
Whoa. Holy crap, that's really his contract? Oh, they screwed up. They screwed up. Yeah, Pat Riley was right. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. Pat Riley was right. You can't be paying Jimmy Butler $57 million. I'm sorry. If it was like 25 to 30, maybe. But 57 million?
year top 10, and the year after that will be 12. Ask yourself the question, is Butler at 36, 37 years old a top 8-12 player in the NBA who's making max dollars?
No, they're paying you $57 million and you can't even shoot the ball 20 times? Can't shoot 20 times for 57 mil. Come on, man. You're getting paid that much because you're supposed to be the guy.
I don't think so.
Great
At
movie.
this point for the Warriors' future, there's not a lot of bright spots. Butler's 35, Steph's 36, and Draymond's 34. That's your big three-year nucleus, all in their mid to late 30s. If you're counting on that big three right there in their mid-30s to lead you to a championship, it's simply not happening. Doesn't matter how great Steph is, how great Jimmy is, or how great Draymond is. Old championship teams, old big threes, don't win titles. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. Out of the entire Jimmy fiasco, him winning out of South Beach, the guy who looks the best in this is Pat Riley. As now looking at his Heat's roster, they're not an old team, and they have some talent. In Golden State, their depth is super questionable, and their big three is ancient. If you're a Warriors fan in your future, it's pretty bleak. If you're a Heat fan in your future, at least has some hope and some bright spots. As always,
I'm still surprised that Haslam called him out.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Oh, so I've seen now Haslam called him out, and a couple of months ago I saw Dwayne Wade on a podcast, and he defends Jimmy because they're really close, but he did also point out that the Jimmy's got to stop doing these jump passes. You either got to stand your ground and make a pass, or get up in the air and make that shot. But these jump passes leading to turnovers, not a good look. Plus, it's also, it's such a passive look. And it has a big effect on the team because you can hit Jimmy wide open and he's usually going to pass the ball. Or even more frustrating, Jimmy goes ISO, gets in the middle of the lane, and then he goes up for a shot or a layup, and then he passes it while he's in the air. That drives me nuts right there. Like we don't give up layups, especially Jimmy. He's good. He's good at driving the ball, and he's good at either going all the way to the rack or pulling up for a mid-range jumper. And he stretches all the way to the three. It drives me crazy because I don't know if it's coming across correctly on this reaction. I think Jimmy is an incredibly talented basketball player. Physically, great basketball player. I just don't know what's going on upstairs, what's going on in his head. Psychologically, what is stopping him from shooting that ball? I don't know. Does he have the same like LeBron, James Harden syndrome, where he doesn't want the responsibility, yet he talks himself up to a point where he gets the responsibility and the expectation? I don't understand this stuff. Because if you're going to talk yourself up like you're that guy, shouldn't you deliver? I don't know. Great video by Uncut. Fantastic video. Everyone, thanks for watching. I think I've said my piece on Jimmy Butler for now. Until next year, sir. We'll see what you do. Because he was a lot better as a number 2. I don't think he should be getting paid that much money as a number 2 or a second option, but it is what it is. So maybe they can win something with him being the Robin to Steph's Batman, and we'll see next year. But I'm disappointed Steph got injured too. That whole series was disappointing. Hats off to Minnesota. They actually didn't play that great. That's the worrisome thing. So I hope they didn't get too comfortable in that series. But yeah, we'll see what Minnesota can do in the next round. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see what Ant-Man is capable of. And I wasn't rooting against Ant-Man, but I know Steph's window for that championship is really closing. Hell, it might have just closed right there. But yeah, that's why I was rooting for Steph right now. But now, I think I might be rooting for the Knicks. I don't know. After what the Knicks did to Boston, it's a whole different conversation. So I should get going. But yeah, after what the Knicks they put the spank down on Boston, I am very impressed. Anyways, I'm out of here, everyone. Like the video if you haven't done it yet. I'd appreciate it. Go check out Uncut's channel. Subscribe to mine. And be water, my friends.